Hey everyone, so I had promised in my last video talking about the housing market in the city of Windsor that I would do this as well too and kind of show you the Bryan retirement plan. Now, years ago, I recognized that I was always just going to be a poor person. I used to save money and I used to invest in the stock market and I used to do all those rich people things. And I was building up some significant net value, net wealth for me. But then when I went to the University of Windsor, I ran into a professor over there and it crushed me like a bug. Lost everything. A lot of people in the city of Windsor lost everything listening to that professor. It's just part of the history of things. So, okay, I don't need any money. I'm going to die broke anyway, and I want to die broke. I don't need to leave any money to the next generation because I don't have any children, so I've got to try to be as close to zero as humanly possible by the time I get to the end, which is very difficult to do. So the Bryan plan was to keep the bank and keep interest rates out of my life, my personal life. My business life, interest rates happen. You do need to buy logical things for your business. I have a pickup truck out there that has an interest rate to it. There's a big payment on the darn thing too. Bigger than I've ever had before in my life, but it's okay because it's in the business. And business revenue is growing by, well, this year, 55%. It's all okay. It's all working out fine. I need the truck. I'm using the truck almost every single freaking day. Doing my business. So it's all good. It's a tool that is helpful. So the Bryan plan for retirement changed. I started saying, I got to get to work. When I get out of the university, I got to get to work. I got to start building up money fast. So we started paying off the house. House is worth about $730,000. It just is. It's what it is. $730,000. And it's paid off. The money's just sitting there, doing absolutely nothing. Not earning anything, not costing us anything, not taxing us anything other than property tax. Free living, as close to free as possible. In a really nice house. It's what, 1,384 square feet? It's 10 years old now. It's all of the house that we need. Sure, there's a few little things we'd like to do more to it, and we will do those things. But not a lot. I have a growing business from my own brain and hard work. That's why you see these fingers are as beat up as what they are. Got a new little bump on that one. Sorry, it's middle finger. I'm not supposed to show that bump. But that's why you see the bumps on these fingers. I'm going to work today, 1 o'clock, hour and a half from now. I'll have lunch first. Hard work, and so far this year, gross revenue is up 55. Is projected, and I'm really good at these projections. Is because it's hard work. Get out and go to work. My projection, I got to hit my projection. My projection is revenue will grow by 55%. Last year's revenue was $161,000, and I'm saying that this year revenue will grow by another $80,000 on top of the 161. I'm pretty close to that. Pretty freakingly close to that. We'll see how the rest of the year ends. We just got to go to work. It's been a bountiful year this year. As more people find this message and say, Bryan, hey, I want to work with you. You get it. You understand it. I want to work with you. Can you help me? Sure. How can I help? So it's my breakout year. You make more money in your 50s than you do in any other time in your life. It's just natural. I've read every business book tells you that. I'm no different. It's my breakout year. I'm 57, 58, and 59. I got 2 more years of really good revenue growth. And it's all starting to gel. It's all becoming easier and easier. Suddenly I have wisdom and more people want to, hey, Brian, can you help me? Sure. What do you need help with? Where are we going? My phone rang yesterday. My mom died at 61. Brian, I've got this house full of stuff. What do I do? My phone rang before that. Hey, Brian, I'm getting divorced. What do I do? It's all good. Revenue is revenue. Helping people. It's what the whole goal was hard work helping people. The H's. So future, maintain the pace. If I could maintain this breakout year pace for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, that would be a good thing. There's no reason I can't maintain that pace. I might need some help along the way to be able to maintain that pace. Trevor is starting his real estate classes to help me maintain that pace. Be good, and help him make some money along the way too. And keep expenses down to be able to retire. Expenses in the real estate business are massive. They just are, because you're running a business. You have to do advertising. People have to be able to know what you do for a living, how you can help them. That costs a lot of money. It's my number one expense is my advertising expense, and people still do not know what I do for a living. So the end of the year, I'll have roughly $150,000. Now, I had about that sum of money back when I started this whole endeavor, owning my own business, but I ran into some people at the University of Windsor and went to zero. So I'm building back, and it's taken me a long time. It was 2011, 2012, something like that, 2011, 2012, something like that. I forget, 2010, I think it was. It's taken a long time to build that back. Taxes are one of those mean, nasty things when you own your own business. It's like, how much do they want me to pay in taxes? But I'm getting there. So at 6%, so here's the way that I look at my retirement planning. At 6% right now, because that's what I earn a little bit more than that, but 6%, keep it simple, is $9,000 a year. The 150 makes me 9. I got 750 up here, so I've got, or 730, keep it simple, 750. So I got $900,000 assets, don't I? Should be able to retire pretty comfortably because I got $900,000 that I can trade down to zero or sell down to zero. I want to die poor. Can't take anybody to heaven. But I want to go tour. I want to go do the things in life I need to go do. I'm going to keep my business, by the way. I'm not closing my business. I'm keeping my business. If anything, I'm expanding the business over time. I'm just getting started. Plenty more to do. I'm just going to have more help along the way. Be the Tommy O'Brien of Windsor Real Estate. That's not a bad place to be. Tommy just retired. I think there's some medical things going on there. But anyway, $9,000. And Lord knows there's enough medical things going on here. $750 a month. Check. Business Unit B. $500 a month. Check. 500 plus 750 is $1,250 a month. I'm going to keep Business Unit B. Business Unit B is the car business. Buying and selling Hot Wheels collection. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. Gets me out to see new people. Those people might need real estate at some point in time too. At the very least, we can go camping and we can go to car shows and stuff, and they're fun. They're a blast. And that business really makes more than $500 a month, but keep it simple, $500 a month. Business Unit C and D, which is the estates business or the appraisal business and the wealth management business and stuff, makes about $555 a month right now. It's growing. So I'm up to $1,800 a month in retirement, quote unquote. Still working, but working on my level, $1,800 a month. Business Unit A, which is the real estate business. You're going to laugh at this. I pay myself $2,000 a month out of the real estate business. Are you laughing? It's $500 a week. It's all I pay myself in the real estate business. So the money has to stay in it. We have to keep growing it. It's a machine that just prints money. So we keep growing. There's more things I want to do in the real estate business, and it costs a heck of a lot of money to do those things, trust me. So I keep that money in there. So $1,800 plus $2,000 is $3,800 a month. I haven't even talked about U.S. Social Security, Canadian old age pension, any of that, because I don't qualify for it yet. Next year is retirement year. Not for me. The family business stays open. What I'm doing now is retirement. I don't go to work until 1:30 today. This is pretty much retirement. The cat's laying here on the couch beside me, sound asleep. It's pretty much what retirement is. We just got back from the campground yesterday. Pretty much retirement. It's how I envisioned it. It's pretty nice to be. So $3,800 a month. 30 by 300. Now, so once my spouse retires, then 30 listings a year can be photoed and videoed and buy the equipment. And I can pay back into the family $300 from the corporation, into the family $300 for each of those 30. That's $8,000 to us from Unit A. $750 a month. It's $4,550 a month. So even my spouse is going to be working in retirement, helping the family business, but getting paid from the family business for that too. Then my spouse gets a pension. There is a pension in my family. That's what's always been the Rock of Gibraltar, is the consistent check coming in to be able to build this enterprise. It's very, very difficult to build an enterprise without a substantial weekly check coming into the family and keeping expenses low, living a normal life, paying off the house when things are really, really good. Things were really, really good. Things are still really, really good, but now the house is paid off. So now we go travel with some of the really, really good, because you guys keep calling me and you appreciate the work that I do for you. So, okay, great. So that's $4,550 a month. Pension from the spouse, $3,250. That's $7,800 a month. I think everybody would be happy with a retirement like that. $7,800 a month in the city of Windsor is a pretty significant monthly income, especially without a house payment to have to make. The cost of everything is soaring. I was just over at my auto and home people, and they said, Brian, get ready for this year because your new rate will be massively more. Gee, thanks, I'm getting ready to retire, and now you're telling me that my rates are going through the roof. Why didn't my rates go through the roof when I was working? And now they should be going down because I'm retiring. It doesn't work that way. Nobody wants you to retire. They all make it as difficult as humanly possible to retire. Okay, great, $7,800 a month. That's a pretty good monthly income. And I haven't even touched the 730 sitting here. And I haven't even touched the 150 sitting here. And I haven't even had another year or two or three. This is just this year right now as things sit. Part-time job with spouse. My spouse is going to be helping the family business in some way. Generate some revenue, because it just does. And they're also going to be working part-time, doing some consulting work in retirement. Just how it is. Not a whole lot of consulting work, just some. But what my spouse knows, people want to pay them for. Hey, I want to pay you something for that. That works out to $2,500 a month. Just does. All right. So $7,800 plus $2,500 is $10,300 a month in retirement. Still working though, doing the things we want to work, doing the things we want to do when we want to do them, saying yes and saying no. $10,000 a month. Old age pension. My spouse is there. I'm not there yet. So this doesn't include any of that. $750 a month. That's $11,050 a month. If we keep our expenses down, and the company pays for all of the vehicles, it just does. Right? That's why I only take $2,000. The company is actually it's actually paying me more because I'm enjoying 3 vehicles sitting out there. One of them's almost paid off and will be paid off very, very quickly here. One of them could be paid off right now if we wanted to, but it'll be paid off. It's working its way down quite rapidly. And it'll have 20,000 kilometers on it, I think, when it's done. And it's the retirement car. It's not going anywhere. The other car out there is a retirement car. It's not going anywhere. It's the fun car. It's not going anywhere. And then there's the truck, which is the work truck. That might get replaced because as I stay in business, that truck's getting used. It's only got 40,000 kilometers on it now, but I use the frickin' thing very, very hard. It's a truck. It's meant to do that. Looks like a truck out there, too. I washed it. I was going camping, and I'm like, I can't drive this truck this filthy. So I drove over and washed it for the first time, I think, ever that I've had the truck. It's like, no, it's got to be washed. Going camping. And I sat there at the campground looking at the truck saying, boy, that truck's nice and clean. Look at the camper. It's all good. And the business pays for the camper, too. So anyway, just part of the executive benefit package of the business. So it technically makes more than $2,000 a month, but who's counting? I take $2,000 a month out of the business. Cash flows. So it's $11,050. Now, as time goes on, next year, if I do the same volume, if I maintain the pace, then suddenly instead of 150, I might have 300,000 earning 6%, which is 18,000. If I can maintain the pace for another 2 years, look at that finger with the bumps and stuff. If I can maintain that pace for another 2 years, God keeps me healthy enough, then suddenly 300 becomes 450. Just the natural ebb and flow of things. If I maintain the pace for 3 years, I'm 57, so that'd be 60 years old. 61, I can start drawing my U.S. pensions, I can start drawing Canadian pensions and all that stuff. All the numbers change again. Some go down, some go up. But then suddenly I've got 450,000 at 6%. It's $25,000 a year. It's $2,000 a month. It's going up. That's what happens in your 50s. Numbers start working in your favor. Business unit B might be sold by then. I don't know. Might just trade that off to zero because I'm not going to need as much money. The more that this increases, I'm not going to need this as much. I don't need to work as much. I like that business. It's kind of fun. It's more of a retirement kind of thing. It might stay. Don't know. Business unit C and D, technically, that's going to grow as well too, because I am doing more appraisals. More people are reaching out. Hey, Brian, this is going on. There's this divorce. We need you to go in and do your report. It's $1,000 every time I get out of bed to go do a report. It's okay. Do 20 of those a year. You can do 20 of those a year. So this income may be going up as well too. Also, wealth under management. This is a wealth management business. It's not a lot of money right now, but more seniors, as I'm selling their houses, are putting money with me. It's like, hey, Brian, we really like what you've done for us, and we really understand this, and we want to do that. Thank you. I don't know where this goes either. It's doing okay. And then business unit A, I only take $2,000 a month. Once I incorporate it, and I'm incorporating this year, I'll probably start taking more per month from it, because I have to trade that money down to zero anyway by the time I die. But, okay. And then I don't know how long my spouse will be doing this business with the family business. I don't know. Don't know if that's going to even happen. Just thinking about it right now. So maybe that goes away. Pension always stays. Unless my spouse passes away, then I only get half of this. Part-time job spouse, I wouldn't get any of that if my spouse passed away. In probably 3 years, this money goes down and goes away. No reason for it. Don't need it. Because these things will be going up. And we still have this asset, and this asset's going to be growing. We've got to get them to zero. And then old age, I'll start old age. I'll start U.S. Social Security because I was an American and do the exchange rate. As you know, exchange rate's 38%. There's like $3,000 a month eventually coming as I age out and get into U.S. Social Security. I will be taking U.S. Social Security early, just as we're taking Canadian pension early. It's okay because we manage the money. We don't go spend it. We're going to go live. So the goal for the two of us as we head towards retirement at the end of next year, notice those words, planning. This is retirement planning for the end of next year. We don't know what's going to happen from a health perspective. God comes in and makes those decisions, not us. We'll adjust to them if there are things. Maybe there aren't. Maybe everything's status quo. When you walk around with as many medical things as I walk around with, you just don't know. What's the next thing? As the day progresses, it just gets a little bit harder for me. Right now, I technically have a little bit of a headache from one of the things wrong with me. It's nothing big. It's just a level 1 headache. It just is what it is. And, if you technically ask me, yeah, I feel a little bit wonky, but it's okay. A little bit unbalanced. My head's a little bit unbalanced. But I know what it is, and it's manageable, so that's all good. I just have to build this up faster because I don't know. That's why this is a sprint. That's why I never understood when people went out and bought houses that they couldn't afford when interest rates were free. I never understood that because it's a sprint to be able to save some money in case something happens. Because the cost of insurance is super expensive. That's why I was an insurance agent. But that's also part of the reason I sold the part of the business as well too. So you can see the Brian plan for retirement. I'm just now starting to help people. Why would I want to retire now? It's like at Chrysler. There was a gentleman at Chrysler that had, 77 million years in. And he never retired. And everybody was upset with him for not retiring. They wanted his job. His job at 80 some years old was to drive a golf cart around and empty 2 garbage cans. What was his job? 2 garbage cans. He needs to go empty 2 garbage cans. Here's a golf cart. Do you need an assistant to help you empty 2 garbage cans? If you do, we'll assign somebody to help you. Oh, no, I can do this. Okay, great. Thank you. And he worked every Saturday and every Sunday that the plant was working because he had 79 years of seniority. He was number 1. Do you want to work Sunday? The plant's going to be open. We need a skeleton crew to come in and say, yeah, I'll come in. Gives me something to do. Gets me out of the house. Okay, great. Come on in. Empty your 2 garbage cans. They're both going to be empty. But we need you to come in and empty your 2 garbage cans. It's your job. We'll give you your golf cart. Do you need an assistant for Sunday as well too, emptying 2 empty garbage cans? No, I should be okay. Okay, good. The same thing with me. It's what I'm building towards. Got a meeting tomorrow to talk a little bit more about the plan for me. Because I have to start building out this plan. Every executive of every business gets to this point. Hey, what's my transition plan? Not that transition. What's my transition towards retirement plan? What's it going to look like plan? And this gives you an example of how I'm looking at my retirement plan. I don't know if I end up hitting all of it, but I know that, hey, we can do this. I also know that, hey, even if I'm only 60% of this, I'm still fine. So that's why I know I can do it. I just might not be able to travel as much. But travel doesn't have to be super expensive either. The camper will be paid off. The truck is in the business, and both of those things are in the business anyway. So as long as there's business revenue paying for the camper and the truck, who cares? Doesn't matter. And we just have to pay it's like $80 a night now in a campground. When did that happen? Comes a little bit expensive, but it is what it is. It's still cheaper than going to hotels for the most part. For the most part. So anyway, that's that. That's a little bit about Brian's retirement planning, how I look at retirement planning, to give you an example of how you should be looking at retirement planning. When can you go? Can you go? Should you go? All of these things, because retirement is a very, very personal thing. My spouse is retiring next year, at the end of next year, but doesn't have to. They could stay and continue that income. If they stayed another year, this would go up. This would probably go up a touch. This would stay the same. But then they'd have an extra I can't, that's their data, not my data, so I can't share that with you. But they'd have an extra year of income. But they'd have that much more stress. And they're in an untenable career. That's just changed over time. As society has changed after COVID, their untenable career has also changed. Or their career has become untenable. It's just changed. Everything's changed after COVID. All kinds of things, and especially in this career path. So, thanks for watching. Gives you a little bit of an idea about retirement planning for me, what I'm looking for next year. I'll still be doing real estate. I'll still probably be doing the car business. I will be including and doing more of the estates business. I'll have more people. Right now I got 3 employees. That's good. We're kind of laid off right now because I don't have an appointment until 1:30 today to find out if I can put everybody back to work again. But it's all good. We've got some other projects we're working on as well too, to keep them working. Part of the reason for the car business is it helps to keep one of those employees working. So it's all good. That gives you an idea from a retirement planning perspective. The reason I shared this with you and gave you real numbers, and keep in mind that if we're doing this, we're not doing a reverse mortgage up here. We could always do a reverse mortgage. We could always sell this and go rent, for that matter, too. Rent an apartment, rent a house someplace. We could rent different places. We could go someplace here for 6 months, someplace there for 6 months. We could do all kinds of different things in this whole plan. And we're not drawing down this yet, and we're not drawing down this yet. These things are still building up. I don't think that the valuation of the property is going to change very much. It's going to be pretty steady Eddie, like everything else in the city of Windsor has been. In the near term, in the next 3 years, I think everything's pretty much steady Eddie for the next 3 years. I did this so that you can have some kind of an idea what you should be looking at when you think about monthly incomes in your retirement planning. And that's why I strongly believe that the number one thing to do from a retirement planning perspective is not to go start saving money in mutual funds and stuff. It is paying off your house. Paying it off, staying there, paying it off. Because every time you move, you're losing money. Stop it. Stay where you're at. Buy the house that you need and make it yours. We still have things to do to this house, like I said to you. It's not fully ours yet. It's like 85% of the way there. But the longer we live in it, it's like, oh, hey, this would be nice or that would be nice. And we will get those things done. We just tend to be very conservative. We tend to be very cheap. We tend to be very frugal because we want money to continue to keep growing for us so that we're technically retired early. I retired a long time ago when I opened up my business units. When I left Chrysler and gave them the finger, I said, okay, I'm out of here. They're like, but, you're the only one leaving in the department. It's like, yeah, oh, hell yeah. Because I know I can go take care of myself by going and helping people. I know that God will provide for me. I don't need Mr. Chrysler to give me a check. I trust in my faith. And I trust in my ability to help people. And along the way, I'll figure out a way to be able to make some money. Thank you, Mr. Chrysler. My time here was valuable. I don't get a pension from them. I might get like $300 a month. I don't even know. That assumes that they could even pay me a pension. Don't even care. So, lots of things you can do to be able to create some income streams for yourself. Who would have thought that the car business is... Last week I sold over $2,000 worth of cars. Who would have thought? While I was camping, I spent $1,300 on cars for new inventory because I got to keep inventory turning. And I do have a little bit too much inventory. I didn't really need to buy the cars yesterday that I bought yesterday, but they made sense. I was filling in some holes. Now I got this inventory and it's like, oh, I don't have that car. I should buy that one so that I have it in inventory in case somebody asks for it. It's really kind of what I'm doing now, just maintaining more inventory. I'm buying the 68 Hot Wheels, but I don't really need any 1970s. Or, I'm sorry, 1969s I don't need. I got plenty of, especially after last night. And 70s, maybe a few. 71s, yeah, need them. 72s, yeah, need them. 73s, got a lot of. 74s, 75s, 76s, 77s, don't really need them. So if I don't need them, but I can buy them cheap, I'll buy them cheap. For the future. For retirement. Don't know which way it's going to go. But it should be fun. It's kind of like what it is right now. Sitting here next to Pud, who, to be honest with you, this is kind of nice retirement. 12 o'clock, Pud's sleeping, and I'm here shooting a video about how I've got retirement set up. Kind of a good spot to be. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it helps you to think about how you're thinking about your retirement planning, because people don't share this stuff. And I want to break through some of those things with video. That's why I'm doing it. There's going to be some great new video coming out here as well too about some new things that are happening in the real estate business. There's going to be some mix and match things, some new stuff getting launched to be able to maintain the pace and keep expenses down as I head towards a working retirement. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions about retirement planning for yourself, if you have any questions about real estate for yourself here in the city of Windsor, if I can help in some way, just to listen sometimes, just give me a jingle, 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. I enjoy going for coffee and listening. If I can help in some way. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. I'm Brian, signing out. Bye-bye.